Hello fellow horror nerds, it's Rorschach Myers here. Thank you for clicking on the video. I've got 1 point to make here, and let's get straight to it, shall we? No messing around. Okay, so I've just seen Halloween Ends. It's a very disappointing movie, and there's lots of videos, video reviews here on YouTube which explain just why it's disappointing. The consensus, I think, is that Michael Myers was sidelined and almost emasculated in his own movie. He was weakened. He was hanging out in the sewers, and he was easily bested by two ladies at the end of the movie. Didn't really feel like Michael Myers had any kind of supernatural power to him, and he spent a lot of the movie mentoring a young replacement who he then killed. So it didn't make a lot of sense. Lots of people very annoyed with the movie. But I don't want to do a review of the movie here. I want to talk about the masculinity crisis, which was very evident to me when watching the movie. So let's have a look at the male characters in the movie. You've got Corey, who was we thought he was going to be the new Michael. I guess that's not going to happen now after he got his neck snapped, shot, and then stabbed himself in the neck. So very dead. This kid was kind of a beta male, wimpy dude. He was a babysitter, a role which is usually played by females, and a bad babysitter, and a babysitter who gradually turned into a psycho as the movie progressed. And I thought it was very telling that he got it was the granddaughter of Laurie Strode. She got really into him when he started to turn evil. So the more psycho he became, the hotter she got for him. So that's one male character, a young male character, a beta male dork doing a job that teenage girls usually do badly, who then turns into a psycho. We've got Michael himself. What is there to say about Michael? He was hanging out in the sewers, and he was very weak. So a weak man who used to be a threat, not really much of a threat anymore. And when he does eventually show his face, literally at the end of the movie, he's easily bested by a young girl and a pensioner. So not much of a threat is Michael Myers. Strange thing to say, isn't it, really, that Michael Myers not much of a threat. Okay, so that's two males. We've got the leader of the bullies. That's another male in the movie, a toxic male. Why was he a toxic male? Well, because his dad was bullying him. So another toxic male. You've got the DJ in the town who got his tongue snipped off in quite a brutal scene. Another toxic male. So he's a successful entrepreneur. He's doing well for himself, but he's toxic. He's not a good guy. Let me think. Any other male characters? The ex-boyfriend of Laurie Strode's granddaughter. I'm sorry, I'm blanking on her name. He's like a kind of a buffoon, a bit of a drunk, and a kind of creepy as well. So another toxic male. You got the homeless guy. He was another toxic, weird male, wasn't he? The only positive males you had in the movie were two elderly males. You had the stepfather of Corey. He was completely pee-whipped by his missus, and wasn't even the man in his own household. He was just anything for a quiet life kind of guy who ended up getting shot in the head accidentally at the end of the movie. So that's one positive male character. Someone who's not respected by his wife and doesn't really play much of a role in proceedings or any kind of role in his own household, really. And the other positive male was the elderly police chief. He was hanging out in the supermarket chatting up Laurie Strode and talking about wanting to leave, cherry blossom trees. Let's go to Japan. This America is not quite what it once was. Probably fear the actual violence of the cities run by the good, without getting too political, the good political party in America, who I'm sure Jamie Lee Curtis is, very much supportive of. You know what I'm saying? Right. So that elderly, non-toxic male was unthreatening and talking about retirement. So let's do a summary then. So the male characters in Halloween Ends, all toxic, apart from two. One who wants to leave the town, and a guy who's not even the man in his own household, who ends up getting shot in the head. So if you are a young couple going to the cinema today, and you want to watch a horror movie and be scared, and maybe your date is going to cuddle up and you go, oh, that was so scary, hold me in your big strong arms, Rorschach, and I'll protect you. There's none of that going on in the Halloween Ends movie. There's no sense of the males protecting the females, and there's no sense of the men being like the breadwinners, the dominant, positive, almost good guy male that will do everything for his family and sacrifice himself to protect his wife and children. There's none of that. There's just let's retire, or let's just hang out in the background and let the wife dominate me. And it doesn't resonate with the audience, because the audience is living in a real world. The audience is not living in the Hollywood post Me Too world. The audience of young ladies, young men, middle-aged ladies and middle-aged men do actually have not all satisfying interpersonal relationships with members of the opposite gender, right? They want to get on, and they want to love their partners, and they want to admire their partners, and they want to let the men occasionally do manly things in their own household, and that just isn't allowed in Hollywood today. So what you got in Halloween Ends, in many ways, and this will probably be the title of the video, is an unintentional display of the big issue which is affecting Hollywood today. And that big issue is they don't know what to do with males. They can't bring themselves to portray the kind of masculinity which is actually desired by the females in their audience. The best that they can do is have an old gentleman who will be saying to the old ladies, yeah, the city is a bit of a mess, let's retire to Japan. Why is Japan so nice? I guess they're not not embracing the values of the liberal democracies of the West, are they? It's a little bit it's not a lot of diversity going on in Japan, is it? But without going off on a rant, you can see where I'm going there. So that's the problem that Hollywood has got today, and it's a problem epitomised by the gaping hole in Halloween Ends, which was a lack of a positive masculinity, and a lack of the kind of male characters, apart from the elderly ex-police chief, who females, particularly young females, would actually desire. And when they did try to go there a little bit, have a kind of tough guy, masculine character who a female Laurie Strode's granddaughter would desire, that was shown to be a bad thing, because he was a toxic male. It was a psycho. And at the conclusion of the movie, Laurie Strode's granddaughter didn't have any boyfriend at all. She had to leave town. Town, metaphorically, as far as I'm concerned, would be Hollywood. So there's no males in Hollywood who the young ladies would desire. So they've got to go to other maybe streaming platforms, or maybe even try to do something in the real world to find the kind of men that Hollywood is not going to give you anymore. So that's my little dissertation there on what's going on with Hollywood today in relation to the Halloween Ends movie, which was very resonant. Lots of toxic males, a couple of harmless beta males, so women wouldn't really find that sexy or that desirable, and when they did try to inject a bit of testosterone into one of the younger male characters, that just turned out to be completely toxic. So it's very confused. Is Hollywood and Halloween Ends. They just don't know what to do with men anymore, and they just don't know how to portray a young, desirable male character, the kind of male character who the females in the real world would actually go for. To get what I'm saying. Okay, guys, I think I'll conclude the video there. Let us know what you think. What did you think of Halloween Ends? Is there anybody out there who enjoyed Halloween Ends, and is there anybody out there who thought that the male the male characters in Halloween Ends were in any way relatable, resonant, or desirable in the real world? There's an issue there, isn't there? But if you disagree, let us know. Thanks for checking us out. Give us a like and a sub if you would. I'd appreciate that very much indeed. Cheers, take care. Catch you all later. Bye.